Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have Grist Mill, a public match, seeing an overview of that. Thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description and get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. So, server pop for our match today. It is November 14th, a Thursday night at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're kind of at the peak for what we're going to get. The number will probably rise throughout the match. We got 230 right now. Imbalance is 7 towards the CSA side. A lot of people still haven't spawned in, and no artillery on this map. So, our officers for today. On the CSA side, you got Willie Pete, Vega 850, Chinese Dinos, Operator Ice. And then for the Union side, you got Pax, you have Brit, Agrippa, and that seems to be it. I think the Union here has Cav. So that is why they only have 3 companies and 3 officers compared to what we normally see in War of Rights, which there's 4 officers. So CSA, they got to hold the defensive point, which is in the middle of the river. Used to be a lot of people liked fighting over this house, but the devs make it where you couldn't respawn people in the houses with your flag bearers. So that kind of killed that pretty quickly. And now a lot of the fighting occurs outside. Now Union can approach going down this side here. It's a nice, easy place to cross. And that's why you have a CSA line here and a Union line off the far side shooting there. Moving on to this side of the map. As of late, you've seen Union try to push the CSA left or go down this Union right side to hit the CSA, and so that's why you got a Union company over here. They can go a decent bit ways further to the right if they want, and really outflank their opponent if they want to, but it looks like for now they're not choosing to do that, and obviously CSA is defending here as well. As a defender, you got to spread yourself out in order to defend the whole width of the map, because you don't know where the attackers are going to hit, and obviously you don't want to beef up one of the flanks and then the attacking team hit the other flank. It's like, well, crap, they're on our flank or possibly behind us.
Hold your fucking fire. Make sure you have your fucking bowls.
So, you got, of course, you're gonna get guys in the house, but let's see how this volley goes.
0 for 100 yards, which means when you fire it, they kind of arc up and they dip back down so that at 100 yards they hit right at a bullseye. So those guys are about 100 yards away, so I would aim exactly at them. You can't really see them, I will be honest.
That's true, you can't really see them through the smoke and the bushes and everything. So this map is going to come down to when will the Union charge? They got to go across at some point. Shooting is great in War of Rights. And you can see the Sharps, they're doing their thing. They're shooting with their fast reloads, about half the speed of your normal riflemen in this game. But it's really going to come down to the charging. The thing is shootouts are great and all. The game doesn't tell you when you kill someone, and at these longer distances, shootouts are generally a 1-to-1 trade. There's so many factors and randomness into it that is why I say it's generally a 1-to-1 trade. It's really hard to shoot in this game, especially when you don't know when you kill somebody. And because it's a 1-to-1 trade, that means the attackers are not dealing a sufficient enough of ticket loss to the CSA, because if the attackers would want to, the attackers could, in theory, just shoot down the defenders all day long. And they would win. However, there's a black timer, and unfortunately, they are limited to the 45 minutes that the game gives them. And the reason the attackers would win that shootout is attackers always have a higher percentage of tickets compared to the defenders. But for now, the shootout commences. Tickets on top of your screen, they're still looking pretty even, but CSA is doing this as you should. They're holding further back, making sure Union doesn't get around them. It's not like Union's really tried. And even looking on this side, it is plainly obvious that Union has a numerical advantage. Not by a whole lot, but they have some.
Who's going to be the fourth?
Pull back, boys. Pull back. Pull back.
The first and third were monkey.
And you can see CSA just going to fall back. And you don't really blame them. If the Union's going to play ultra conservative, just as a defender, fall back. Keep the rate of fire up so that the Union thinks you haven't moved. And then you will save lives. The only problem being is that if Union does decide to go across, which they could be doing, they're starting to move forward. They might have seen that CSA movement. If they're gonna get this close, you might as well go.
Get ready. They're hiding. Hold on, they're hiding up top, northeast. Yeah, hold on. They're inside cover. Hold your fire. Hold fire.
Oh no.
Hold your fire.
God!
If he does not come to the conclusion of we need to go across if they're hiding, I still think they should go across. But CSA's coming back out.
Oh yeah.
Nice little volley there. So probably 3 or 4 CSA kind of returning fire. I'm surprised Union's holding at the edge of the river there. That's out of all the places you could be on this side, it provides the least amount of cover. Obviously, they have the smoke screen that they now created. But I guess it's okay cover, but tickets actually, I don't know, they're still very close. It almost feels like CSA might be getting ahead by a little, but it's nothing, not a significant margin. Let's see. Now they don't have like VC, the officers can't communicate that way. They have a text chat where they can chat with each other back and forth, but which one am I
has
in?
long-range rifles. Listen up, break. I want you guys, when you're loaded, find cover. Spread it out, rocks and trees, and start returning fire into that group low in front of us. Space it out, quickly space it out, and start shooting back.
I mean, the Union's got 37 minutes, so they have plenty of time to do stuff, and we don't necessarily know what their plan is. We don't necessarily hear what they were talking about at the beginning of the round, but still.
Watching over us. We're gonna go back over to where we were at. We were over here. Right? Alright, lads. Let's go.
So he's moving behind the house here to do a lot of cover. Again, just preserving those tickets. That's what you got to do as a defender.
Down to that riverbed. Take aim. Take aim, boys. Take aim. Steady. Fire!
I'm still surprised these guys haven't gone across.
Reload!
And it's hard to tell.
I was talking to the officer.
It really feels like CSA is ahead on tickets right now.
Charge.
Our beards are good luck.
That's what he told me. That's what he told me. That's what he told me. He told me that.
Gentlemen, from this range, you want your front
That's what he told me.
Your head and shoulders above you when you fire. You want to fire low on these targets. Your rifle is probably high because they're set for 100 meters. These guys are less than 60.
So
Yes,
it's been about 10 minutes in the match so far,
Aim low.
I noticed he said spy
and each side's about down 2/3 of a morale stage. And obviously, the first 10 minutes, you're still kind of ramping up your attack. You spend the first couple minutes of the match getting in, spawning in, getting your bayonets reloads, figuring out a plan with the other officers. So your pace is going to be a little slow, but
Oh, Brett, that guy on your hair. I forgot to downvote you.
roughly how I see it is on average you want to get the defending team down to 1 whole morale stage every 10 minutes. You want to get CSA down to engage at 35, taking losses at 25, breaking at 15, and then last stand at 5 minutes. I think it's a good benchmark to do. Now obviously it's going to vary based on your attack strategy, how close you want to stay to that. Sometimes, most of the time, you'll see groups sit back and shoot for most of the match, and then they will charge it towards the end and just non-stop charge with a limited black timer. But for now, They're going to keep this shootout going. They're going to have to go across at some point, and that's going to be the most intriguing part. I mean, our server popped up to 245 now. That imbalance is 6 towards the Union side right now. So Union having a little edge on numbers, nothing too significant on basically 250-man
Go into the
server.
middle and independent fire if you want. Go into the middle and independent fire.
That guy died.
The officer, what the fuck?
Some of you boys can go into the middle and independent fire if you want.
The interesting thing is some of these windows are now open.
Go into the middle if you want.
That has to be with the recent
Rambo coming up to you guys.
Oh, hello. Because these windows were never open before, but now they are. Look at that. These are the updates we need in War of Rights is the opening of windows. Can you even get up to the top here? Camera's not adjusting to that. No, it doesn't look like you can get up there. Anyways.
Point of contention. What? You mean point of contention?
Both sides are actually
That is point
almost down to engaged. It's probably still going to be another
No,
2 to 3 minutes
that's point of
because
contention, question mark.
you would think that, like, look at Union right
They're
now.
crossing.
It looks like they're
He's-
going to
he's
hit their
asking-
next
he's
morale
asking
stage of
if-
engage.
I don't know what the
But
fuck Brit's asking.
for some reason, at the bottom of a, when you're at the end of a morale stage, the
Yeah.
bar doesn't, like, it looks like Union's hit the bottom of the morale stage. In reality, they haven't, and they still have a little ways to go. The bar seems to move slower when you get to the end of a morale stage and the start of a morale stage too, which is really weird. So, regardless of that, we're 13 minutes into the match. Both sides almost down a whole morale stage.
Yeah.
I definitely think Union needs to pick up the pace of a charge at some point. And I'll keep hammering that. But, and I mean, again, they've got 32 minutes. They're going to use all 32 minutes.
5 regiments make a brigade. 5 brigades make a division, and I think it was like 3 or 4 divisions.
I briefly was playing in the Pry Forward match before this.
And how big is each regiment?
And that's what the Union strategy was, is they basically shot down the CSA the whole time, which you normally don't see that on Pry Forward. So I don't know what was causing CSA to lose all those tickets.
Alright. They're silly little guys. They're silly little guys. Because the best defense is offense. That's why.
Moving left.
Moving left. Move left. Forward.
So I mean, well, you got Britt over here with his guys, and then we can honestly look at the numbers roughly. We got Vega and Willie Pete. So
Aim for the
Willie
upper tree
Pete
line.
has got
Upper tree
41,
line.
so that's about 60 guys there.
Hold your fire. Hold fire.
Vega's got, oh, he's at
Hey, yeah,
21
they're up
now, so
ahead
that's
behind the tree
62,
line.
and
They
then
didn't
Britt,
shoot right, at
how many
least
does
one
he
bit.
have?
One unit.
Yeah, okay, Britt would be outnumbered only by a little bit on this left flank, on this left CSA side. Which Britt has moved his guys further towards the
Advance
center of the
line.
map, as CSA is actually down on tickets at the first to go down a morale stage at engaged. 14, a little over 14 minutes into the round.
Keep spreading out.
So, I mean, based on the pace that Union's going right now,
We want this nice and
we're
clear.
probably going to see CSA hit breaking within the last 5 minutes of the game if they continued the shootout. Which, at least my play style is to be much more aggressive if it isn't obvious with how much I'm talking about charging, but I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to sit and shoot. I think there's a few good instances, like if you're reforming your line, if you get wiped after a charge, or you just took a position you need to reform, think of a new plan with your officers. I think shooting down your opponent is great. But outside of that, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to sit and shoot.
Yes, sir.
The charges define the matches. The few key moments that really make it happen. And by shooting down your opponent, like this for most of the match.
So as I was saying,
You
there's a
are
hardware store that opened, like,
forcing yourself into a position where you won't have a lot of time.
all types of shit in there,
And
dude.
when
I
you
was-
start
I thought it was
not having a lot of time, you start to panic. You don't have a lot of time to reform, hit again with another charge. So I think it's just kind of delaying the inevitable and putting a lot more pressure on you, the attacker,
Keeping each other together to form.
in terms
And
of
I
that.
can get a couple guys to go with the ramp over to the right. There's rock that will cover a lot more of you guys.
We love rock.
It's
I love
your
rock.
discretion, but they're coming out again on the left. Guys. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep that flag up. Press F on that flag. Yeah, that's how an NCO works. Yeah, the NCO gives orders.
And you can see CSA. How far are they pulled back on the left? They're kind of holding a little far back, but I mean, if I were CSA, and you can see what they've done on the right, is Union refuses to charge across this river, so you're going to sit in the most amount of cover as long as you possibly can. I mean, you got a lot of CSA just holding here. None of those guys that are behind that house are dying. Or they're not dying unless they're getting team killed, in which case, no comment on that. But. We'll see if Indiana beats Ohio State this upcoming weekend. By the time this video's out, though, that already decided, so we'll see if they're undefeated or not in football.
They're outside. Yankees in the river.
I didn't realize that.
They're out there.
I can see you guys, you guys can't look. What are you doing here, Mr. Morgan Stonewall? He's dying, that's what's up. So, and a lot of Rambos, they're going to start hurting the team's tickets, especially defenders. I mean, even on this side, for example, you have two Union guys over here, Krabby Brutes
Holy fuck,
and
there's
Bam
so
Bam.
many of them.
And they're killing a lot, these two guys are. And they're eventually going to die, and the Union's going to pay price with a lot of tickets. Because War of Rights wants you to play this game in a team-based fashion. Meaning, based on how many people are around you determines how many tickets you lose when you die. When you're more by yourself, you lose a lot more. And the thing is you had two Union Rambos out here, and they're going to cause Union to lose a lot of tickets. But then you had CSA Rambos go out and try to kill them, and each individual Rambo action is not bad in and of itself. But when you add a bunch of tiny out-of-line deaths, which result in a lot of tickets lost to your team, you can see that CSA is now in a position where, for some unknown reason, they're down a fourth of a morale stage. This came out of nowhere. The drop in tickets from CSA.
Aim low. Steady. Fire!
Get back.
Pull back. Reload Barnes thing. Reload.
And that's what you almost wonder, right? Is
Alright, boys, we're just gonna take a
for
chill
myself
break
as well, is it like,
We're just gonna chill out.
is the strategy of sitting and shooting down your opponent working, or are Rambos causing the attackers to be up by this much? For all we know, the Union could be shooting like crazy and hitting a lot of the CSA, but we can see CSA pulling back further and further. But you also see a bunch of Rambos down here, which, look at that water there. He just killed a CSA guy. That's 5 tickets gone from CSA, roughly. And so, all the little stuff, it'll add up to a big mountain. And so you ask yourself, it's kind of the hard thing with War of Rights, is unless you have a spectator camera to kind of watch everything, it's really hard when you're playing the game to be like, okay, we lost because of this specific reason. Sometimes it's obvious to tell, and obviously this differs based on the scenario that played out. But if you're CSA, you're like, well, what the heck? Why are we losing so many tickets? We're sitting really far back. We're not getting in any charges. We're not losing a whole lot, and if we are losing some in our line, they're all dying in formation, which means they lose one ticket.
Pushing through it.
Yeah, here they come. In the bed of fire.
Let them push. Let them push. Let them push.
Actually, that was just one guy.
So-
Oh yeah, it was just one dude. Shit.
This is partially why, in these public matches, I don't think you can rely on strategies done in pubs. You can't rely on them being good or not until you play them in a regimental sphere. I think you can officer a lot worse in pubs and still win compared to regimental. Mostly because of the rambling. There's a lot less rambling. And for all seeks and purposes, it's fun to ramble, right? Just from a strategical perspective and tactic perspective, it is one of the worst things you could do in the game. But it is fun. It is fun. And it looks like Union has finally decided to move across the river here. Brit's getting a little aggressive. They got a little defilade here that's going to be nice. You can see when you go down to their perspective here, you cannot see those CSA guys.
We're going to do pop-up volley.
Alright, hold fire, hold fire, hold fire.
So Union getting formed up there. CSA holding a little further back, not a whole lot of cover.
There's a flag.
I just picked it up directly south. They're coming again!
Here they come. Here they come.
Shoot now, reload. Shoot now, reload. Hold your fire. Light them up! Light them up! Here they come! Press V, melee mode.
Get ready, boys.
Aim low, they're right in front of you.
They've been eradicated.
So Union, are they? Looks like they're just running. Oh no way! They're retreating.
I'm going to file a formal complaint to the musician general.
Oh, for that, you want to be a bugle. That has a withdrawn.
I am shocked they pulled off. They had one volley and they fell back. You could see CSA is counter pushing this.
Avenge him!
That's the thing. At this point of the match, CSA has to get a ticket lead, and they might overextend by pushing out like this. It's going to give Union some nice shots here. Billy Jenkins. And they're crossing on the other side as well. As CSA just volleyed as well.
Daz is dead.
Alright, on three.
Independent fire. They're right there. Right in front of us.
I can't see through the smoke.
Shoot the flag. Shoot the flag.
Just shoot in that direction.
Flag officers
They're gonna kill him out, dude.
So CSA over here, I get why they're holding where they are. They're trying to get cover. The left half of that line, I guess they can kind of see. Oh, here we go.
Charge it, boys, charge it!
Do not charge! Don't charge! Hold, boys.
Do not charge, go back. Go back.
We need to shoot them out. Just chill out.
You're not going to be able to do that.
Chill out.
It'd be very impressive if you shot them out. Union's got a flag over here, meaning they're spawning in somebody every 5 seconds. CSA is going to have 2 kills within 5 seconds. Or rather, they need to be getting 1 kill every about 4 or so seconds. Oh, and they're going to actually charge in to wipe them out.
Brace.
Yeah, not a lot charged down compared to what I thought. CSA did hit taking losses. Union just followed. And Union's going to prevail. Maybe the flag pulled out. They're not going to be able to get any more respawns. Got a couple more trickle in CSA guys. And the end of these charges are huge for ticket loss. And the CSA is down about 1/8 of a stage.
Alright, good shit.
And so they successfully push them out. Maybe they could have held there if the flag stayed, but you can't really blame the flag bearer for that. That charge was looking bad for Union, and so you can't blame that flag for pulling out. A lot of the times you'll see flags stay, and they'll die, and the team loses the flag. They can't get them over respawn. It's such a tragedy. But CSA continuing to play over defensive, and I don't understand why Britt is so conservative with his game plan. I mean, what they're doing is working, and so there's plenty of good reason to keep doing that.
Top of the hill. Ready. Fire.
But the thing is, maybe they're getting a kill or two.
Yeah, we caught them while they were crossing. We caught them while they were crossing.
We got a dude picking us off on the right at that tree.
We're about to have a whole attack.
Obviously, we're seeing an overview, and they got a lot more things to worry about down there. But I don't understand why there is a ultra-conservative attacking game plan on this flank. What are we at? Almost at 300 now. Jeez Louise.
Oh my God!
But that pace I was talking about earlier, I think I mentioned it, where CSA would hit breaking within the last 5 minutes. It's probably going to be more about 10 minutes is when that'll happen. And then Union will contest and probably win this game. I mean, the Rambos have to be where this ticket lead is coming from, because for the over-conservative play by Union, the ultra-defensive strategy that's being played by both sides here, I don't see why the ticket gap should be this big.
Alright, follow me, follow me. Click T, follow me. Form up here. Form up in the road right here. Form up in the road right here. Taking aim down that line right there. Take aim down that line. Make sure you have your bucking ball. Take aim. Steady. Fire. Pull back over the fence.
You can argue a little bit that Agrippa, and I think the Sharps over here now as well for Union. Attacking here is a lot harder these days. For two reasons. The higher server pop, CSA can fit a lot more guys here and shoot you with a lot more bullets as you're crossing the river. And you just heard the officer there say that they had buck and ball as well, which they're basically shooting a shotgun. But also, when a recent patch, by that I mean half a year ago now, which is crazy to think about. But when you cross water that's deep enough, your character holds the weapon above to make sure it doesn't get wet, which makes sense. Whereas before, you could shoot, reload in the water, so it's a lot harder to approach on this side just because of how cramped it is.
They went from like an eighth gone of their taking losses meter to they've got more than half of their meter gone now. And once they go breaking, we just bring the fight to the point, which is a few steps away.
Yeah. And
because if we captured before they're breaking, we have to hold on to the point where it's like for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, Grippa's playing it out right. I am shocked. I don't think I've seen a shootout work this well. I mean, we've really seen what? One charge so far, and that was CSA pushing out Union. It wasn't Union charging CSA. This has to be the Brambles. I cannot wait to see this end of round screen. It's crazy. I also wonder, so tickets scale based on server pop.
To the rear, boys.
So on a higher pop server, each death is worth less for all the different formation statuses that you can be in. Everything's worth less. Compared to a lower pop server, which each death is worth more tickets overall. This is just to make sure that the rounds take roughly the even amount of time regardless of server pop. Because if you're playing on a server with 350, 400 guys compared to an 150-man server, there's going to be a lot more people dying in the higher pop server, the 350, 400 one compared to the 150, which means a lot more tickets are going to be lost, and you don't want the 350-man server taking 10 minutes compared to an 150-man server, which takes 30 minutes per se. So tickets scale for that reason. And I wonder... So we've seen the server grow. It's almost at 300 now. It started at, what, 230? So we've grown 70 players. I wonder if that scale changes as server pop changes. So because I kind of wonder if a death at the beginning of this match is worth the same amount of tickets as a death at this point in the match. I don't know. That it could potentially be the case that the reasoning, the thing I just described there, it could be that is the reason why. This ticket gap is so big. Because if the tickets haven't scaled with the increasing server pop, more people are dying, the attackers have a higher percentage of tickets, which means you're going to see that gap start increasing. But you'd have to do some deep testing for that.
I'm not a volunteer. This is my job.
And probably within a 2.5 minutes, that 10-minute mark, we'll see CSA hit breaking, if not a little before. If I'm CSA at this point, you got to start defending this point. You need to at least send a few guys to fully cap that point as defender. It's uncapped right now. Still in defender control, but uncapped. The thing is, as you can see, Union's starting to cap that. They're on the edge of it. If CSA fully caps the point right now, Union's going to have to decap and then retake, fully cap. Decap and cap. That's going to take twice the amount of time as it takes to just cap the point. And so that's why CSA needs to be capping that point right now. And they also need to start getting close. Union's basically on top of that point right now.
Keep firing, independent fire. Independent fire. Those spawning in, get your bayonets ready.
Union could even start pre-capping it if they want to right now. Because if they pre-cap, it'll either draw CSA in and you'll hit them the breaking, or you'll get it close to fully cap, and then when CSA does drop, you can just cap and win right away. It's a lot harder to do that in pubs though than regimental. Just because you don't want the people on point to accidentally cap. That would be a nightmare. Not a nightmare, but if Union were to cap right now, for this example, since CSA is not in breaking, Union would have to hold the point for 7 minutes to win. And if that happened, the CSA could knock the Union into last stand because Union is considered the defending team now and CSA is considered the attacking team. So Union has guys on point. Don't necessarily know who's on point. It's probably Black Lotus and Joe Snow. Could be some of these sharps. Looks like PAX is kind of organizing this though. CSA is still refusing to get near point. Maybe they're taking a gamble with maybe we're going to see if Union caps this point by accident. But gamble, Union needs to collapse on point. You can see Brit starting to collapse on point. That's going to be around. This perfectly executed by Union. I don't think CSA is going to be able to contest this.
Guys, you see a lot of rednecks across the river.
Wow. I am completely shocked that the Union won without charging once. We saw one charge in this battle, and that charge was from the CSA team. But anyways, you know, in the end, a win is a win. It doesn't matter how you get it. I'm intrigued to see what these out of lines are for the CSA, because that has to be it. But before we see that, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to support the channel more. We have our Patreon where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. Besides that, though, we have our Discord and merch in the description as well. And let's see here. Auto lines are not that bad so far. It really starts to kick up in low engage taking losses. Wow. I don't know. This is interesting. I would say more, but we got to end the video. I hope you all enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.